Tell me about Bane! Why does he wear the mask? A lot of loyalty for a hired gun.
Or perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
Hey guys, Davey here. So, welcome to my tutorial on how to do this sort of space punk, sort of zombie-esque version of the Dark Knight Rises Bane. So you can see I've sort of accentuated a lot with veins, paled out the skin, I've got a bald cap on, contacts in. I really wanted to give it this sort of, this really sort of like, kind of like, you know, like you imagine like if Bane was like clinging to the side of a space shuttle, kind of like a visage, you know, like he's like, you know, like Bane in space, like, yeah, so that's sort of the look, how I was inspired for this particular look. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go straight into that, shall we? Mwah! Hope you enjoy.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is applying the bald cap after we pin our hair down flat, of course. So, apply it from the front, the forehead, right down to the base of your neck, making sure all the hair's covered, and then running your fingers along the seams to flatten it out against your head. The next thing you want to do is cut it and trim it so it sits nice and flush. Now, this is a bit of a rush job, but it still does the same trick. Also, make sure you cut around the ears. You can also, a handy hint is to sketch around it on the bald cap with an eyeliner or something and then cut it out. But I didn't do that because I was too lazy. Anyway, next thing I'm doing is applying glue. Now here, instead of using spirit gum, I'm actually using lash glue because I didn't have any spirit gum handy. It does do a similar trick. I imagine it doesn't have the same hold as spirit gum, but it definitely served the purpose that I needed it to. So if you don't have the right product, maybe try using some lash glue, because I know most people who do makeup have lash glue lying around. So that works. I also make sure that you apply it to the base of your neck and around up behind your ears so it actually sits flush all the way around your head. Make sure it's super dry before continuing on to the next step, which is the Bane Mask. I got this for $39.95 from eBay. So that was, I thought, reasonable for this costume, and it was an absolute deal breaker because this is the one thing I think that really makes Bane's costume, obviously. So, what I'm doing now is I'm very gently trying to apply it, you know, moving it a little bit by bit, across over my head until I feel it sort of pop over my forehead, and I know that, you know, I can just slide it down over my ears and stuff. The bald cap didn't come loose using lash glue, so that is a testament to the lash glue holding firm. Make sure your lash glue is really dry before you do this step. Now, the next thing is you are going to cover up your brows just a little bit. We're not actually going to fully conceal them, but just by running some concealer through the brows and then using a little eyebrow brush just to sweep it through and make it look a little bit more natural. We're taking away that humaneness of him. You know, we're making it look a little bit more ethereal, a little bit more unnatural, which is the look we're going for. Also apply some concealer around the seam of the bald cap. Okay, so the next step is take your foundation and apply it over the bald cap. This is to try to give you a uniform base to work with, so it's less obvious where the bald cap ends and your head starts. So after we do that by using a sponge applicator, we're going to use white cream makeup, this is just a Halloween, you know, cheap store brand, and I'm just going to start applying that to my face and working this right over my head, over the bald cap as well. The beauty of this kind of a mask as well is that originally it's quite loose, so I'm just pulling the mask away and just making sure that there's no, like, you know, it doesn't bunch and collect at the edge. It still runs under the mask, so it looks like it's actually my face underneath. Using a sponge applicator again to try to even out and remove any brush strokes, because of this being cheap makeup, it loves to, it behaves more like paint than makeup, you know what I mean? So it will have streaks in it, it will have things like that if you don't apply it evenly and correctly. So that's why I'm using a sponge applicator to continue my, to ensure this is an even application. Do this all over your head, either side, and go over and over. Make sure you do thin layers and build it up. Now this is the next step. Next we're going to do is we're going to take some powder. Now this is just my powder, translucent powder by Illamasqua in white. So I'm just matting that down and making sure that will even out any streaks or anything, and it also seals it so I can actually touch it and it won't come off on my fingers. Do this around your neck and your shoulders after applying the white cream makeup. Next I'm taking Love Plus by Sugar Pill, and we're going to start work on the eyes. So apply it on the lids and just dab it on there gently and then blend it up into your crease. Now, this particular red is my absolute favourite red eyeshadow. It's just the most beautiful product. It can blend because it's so heavily pigmented that you can just blend it and blend it and blend it. Basically, with this look, what I'm doing here, because I really wanted to give Bane this really bloodshot, you know, worn, grungy sort of look, all I've done is I've applied it to the eyes, and then with whatever was left on the brush slashed around the skin, I'm just blending it under and blending it outwards, and that's giving it that real redness. It's not giving it an artificial red as much as it is giving it that tired, worn away look. We also want to be applying that around the sides of the mask, across underneath, on the cheeks, and up onto the forehead as well, and right up wherever the skin meets the mask. The reason we're doing this is we really want to give the look that the mask is rubbing on the skin. So the next thing I'm going to take is a black eyeshadow. That's Carbon by MAC, you can see I'm using there, and a short eyeshadow blending brush. And we're just going to put that up above my upper lashes and then run that down underneath my lower lashes as well. Now, I'm doing this because I really want to darken out my eyes. I want to add a little bit more dimension, and I really want to emphasize that sort of grungy, sort of falling apart look. Now, because it's grungy, you can absolutely have a bit of fun with this and not worry too much about it being too pristine looking. In fact, the messier, the better. Just as long as, you know, you're not drawing it on, you know, your fucking ear or something. So the next thing is I'm going to take a tapered eyeshadow blending brush, and I am going to be applying Carbon by MAC, that black eyeshadow, on my outer eyelid, and then of course taking that and blending that up into my crease. This is to provide depth, and I mean, you could even go a little bit further if you felt like the eyeshadow, the red eyeshadow you were using, if you weren't using Love Plus, you could even pop a little bit of white on the tops of, like on the very center of the lid to really try to emphasize that dimension. For me though, this does the trick fine, just having the red and the black. So you can see I'm just very carefully layering that up. So I'm taking the Carbon again and a fluffy brush, and I'm going to do little swirling motions to start contouring my face. Now, as I move down my cheek, you can see I'm pinching the brush to sort of flatten out the bristles and really try to contour down the side of my face. I'm going up behind my ear and then up north as well to really hollow out that temple. Don't forget to do that on the sides of the necks, in the very sides of the side of the neck, on the collarbones, and in the center of the neck there as well, where you've got that hollow. Next, I'm taking Glitz Fix by Gorgeous Cosmetics, which is like sort of a thick glue kind of thing that you can use to apply to your eyelids and apply glitter with, and it'll seal it and, you know, and prevent it coming off. I'm going to take a little tiny brush, which I've actually picked at a craft store, and Purple Berry by Gorgeous Cosmetics, which is this gorgeous shimmery purple. And I'm taking those three things and I'm going to be mixing the purple eyeshadow and the Glitz Fix together. Taking the very fine brush, I'm going to be very slowly applying the concoction to my face and start to draw the veins. So you can see, just go very slowly, and the finer the brush you have, the better. And remember, they don't need to be complete lines as well, because veins obviously disappear as they go deeper into the skin and then reappear, so it doesn't need to be perfect again, which is great. And just make sure you're going to be having these things enroaching from the ears up, from say where your nose is, and sort of going back across your cheeks. So next I'm going in with a black liquid eyeliner. This is by LA Splash, and it's in the colour Eclipse, which is black with dark blue glitter, which I thought was appropriate for that space zombie sort of glittery, shimmery sort of a look. And again, I'm going in and drawing some more veins. I'm doing it in black this time to add a little bit more dimension, you know, and so it's not just all the one colour vein. And I'm just, because it's got such a little fine brush, it was just really quite easy just to very gently apply these veins. And I'm having them radiate, as I've said before, from the centre of the mask, from the face, like near the ear inwards, and then up across my forehead, up across my scalp as well, from the mask outwards. So next now, I should have actually applied these first. This was very silly of me, but I put contact lenses in. There was not too much fallout or anything, a few tears, but I just, you know, fixed that up and fixed my foundation up afterwards. Next, we're going to take that black liquid eyeliner again, and we are going to draw the detail on your neck and across on the shoulders as well. So once you've finished with the liner, you obviously can extend that down to your arms and your hands if you want, depends on how much flesh you're showing. But that's pretty much it. That's the finished look. So I hope you enjoyed, guys.